Morning guys, just making a tattoo progress update video today. I've got quite a bit to go over, so I'm just going to get right into it. So, first thing we did was we added the new fly eye sort of pattern to the center of the eye. So, when this is healed, the spaces in between the patterns will be black, like solid black. Sort of like what we did with the spider eyes. They'll be darker black, and then the spaces within the pattern will be silver, so it'll have kind of like a shine. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's going to have a real shimmer to it, and it's going to almost have like a 3D sort of effect. And already, just with the line work done, I love this eye so much more, especially since we kicked it out onto the color a little bit and over the highlight. It gives it a really different look. While I've got the camera like this, you can see that the spider eyes are healing up even more. They're more red than they were even for the last one. So the red is still coming out quite a bit. And I don't know when that's going to stop, because the skin is still healing a little bit over top. So yeah, we have the cool new pattern on the eye, which I'm a huge fan of. It totally... I think it gives the eye a whole new life. I think some people might not like it. I'm already anticipating some of that. But I think once this is finished, it'll make more sense to people. And it'll probably be one of those things that only makes sense to me right now. But other people with some vision might see where I'm going with it too. So I do expect a little bit of people understand or misunderstanding or not quite sure where this is going, unless they watch this vlog anyway. The other thing we did was we added the final of the first tentacles here. So just up here, this one is obviously now healed. It's still looking really good. Same as this, like pretty dark. I think the ones on the front are going to be the darkest. So yeah, this was just a smaller guy. It's one of those little tattoos that you add that they don't take much time, and they aren't that big, but they make a big difference. Because now from the front on view, this looks pretty complete in a way. The next step, we're going to be doing the little eyes that I was talking about. They're going to have tentacles kind of coming off of them in that spot and in here. So that'll be a next step. There'll be there'll be different shapes and different sizes to fit different areas. And they're going to be red. There's a couple eyes in this new tentacle here that we did. They're really small. They're going to have little red highlights too. The red eyes in this one are coming out a little bit more, even though they scabbed up. So you can probably just barely make them out, because they're really hard to see unless you're close up on them. But they're going to need to be hit again, obviously. We will be doing, in 2 weeks, I believe, we'll be doing a total touch-up and highlight round. So we'll be thickening the lines on some of these tentacles, because we didn't double line the first ones. The reason why these ones stand out a bit more is because we double lined them. So we're going to double line these guys too, so that they stand out every bit as much as the new ones. While we're doing that, we're going to be doing the red highlights in the different eyes on all the tentacles again, or for the first time in some, and probably do the red highlights here as well. And one more thing we started is we just did a little touch of silver to see how it would work this time. So I don't know if you can see. I can see it in the mirror from across the room. And we didn't really pack it either. It was just kind of whip shaded out. So that silver that's in there is already whiter than, or at least not whiter, but brighter than the white ink was when it was healing. So I think, as I expected, the silver is going to have a better effect. And once we see how that heals, pretty sure we're going to start rolling it out in all the teeth of these tentacles. So there'll be silver here and in here. And obviously there's going to be some silver in here and over here and in this one. So yeah, all the tentacles will be getting silver highlights in the teeth. And I think if that works out really well, then we'll probably bring silver into other parts of the tentacles as well. Just kind of key points like some of the spikes and stuff. From there, if the silver holds really well and kind of keeps a nice brighter gray tone than we got with the white, what we'll be doing is then highlighting even the silver with white. So from silver, we'll go out and use the white next. So yeah, that's the plan right now. It's kind of a long-term project, obviously. So there's a lot of there's going to be a lot of layers to this before it's finally where I want it to be. And anytime you're doing something like this, I think you should expect that it's going to require maintenance. I had someone message me the other day about someone who was also doing a bodysuit project like this, and their thoughts on it were that they were getting more and more afraid of the pain as time went on, kind of thing. And that's not really me. I feel like the pain makes more sense to me right now than it ever has, because I always feel like when you're getting something really new and really interesting, pain is part and parcel. Where when I was doing the blackout towards the end, I was kind of getting a little bit bored of it. I wasn't really like afraid of the pain, or like the pain wasn't getting too much for me. It was just kind of like I was getting bored of that particular pain. I really knew that frequency of the mag really, really well. And so it was like, yeah, this again. Like I was almost laying down, and in my head I was bored already when I got there, just because I was so used to it. Where with what we're doing now, I'm in a spot where every single session is a little bit different. And since we're doing so many different things, we're shading, dotting, lining, packing color, it's just such a different experience every time that it kind of keeps it fresh and interesting. I don't really get that same feeling I was starting to get with the blackout, where it was kind of like it was getting to the point where I didn't really want to do a whole session sometimes, just because I was, tired of it, and also a lot more pain too overall. But I have considered now that I probably won't be necessarily blacking anything out from this point on. I don't know if I touched on this in earlier vlogs or not, but I kind of came to the decision a couple weeks ago that the blackout phase of my tattooing is pretty well permanently over. Just because I feel like I've fully explored that potential and had as much fun with that as I can have. And now, rather than touching up anything, I'm just going to be adding new images. So any work that I do from here out is all going to be new stuff. Rick showed me just Wednesday, my artist, he's got a whole idea mapped out for my left arm already. And he's already thinking about ideas for my right arm. And I think that we're probably on course to get to that stuff to start my sleeve probably by the end of the year, or the beginning of next year. That's kind of my timeline, because I want to focus on my torso probably for the next 6 months, roughly. I think there's a lot more to do there, even though it's starting to look pretty full again. Kevin, the guy I do the podcast with, joked that, wow, you've got a lot of tattoos now. Like, because people always say that when, because I'm fully blacked out, or was fully blacked out pretty well, I almost have no tattoos. It's just one big tattoo. Well, now I have lots of little tattoos all over the place again. Of note, another thing that I was really happy about with this last session is I'm finally not wearing outlines. Like, this is all filled in now. These are all shaded. So even though I had blackout underneath the outlines, it is kind of nice to not have anything that's just lines. Especially since anytime you're lining over black tattoos, the lining isn't really, really defined or distinct. So it's easy to miss. Like, there were times when I'd be doing the vlog and I'd be pointing to these and I was like, I'm pretty sure the camera's not even picking those up. But now they're all defined. They're all there. So even in bad lighting or whatever lighting, you can see. If I'm out in the clear, like if I'm out in the daylight, you can see all of these even better than you can in here. But the lighting in my house is only ever going to be so good, unfortunately. But yeah, so when this one's healed, it's going to be similar to this one or this one. So it'll lighten up quite a bit, but it'll still be pretty distinct. And it seems like these are staying about where they were finished. Like this is the oldest one, for example. It's probably 3 or 4 months old now. And it seems that once they peel and once they've kind of settled after a few weeks, they seem to stay about the same. Similar to like the rows on my hand. They're not really lightening up much with time. So I think that's just the way it's going to be. I think that they start off really dark and then they peel and they look a little bit faded. So that's how most of the black on black has been. So yeah, lots of learning, lots of new experiences. I've got 2 weeks off now to heal before I go another 2 weeks in a row. I'm kind of working a pace that's a little more manageable, but still not leaving me feeling starved for progress. I'm working 2 weeks on, 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 1 week off. And I'll probably keep doing that throughout the entire work on the torso. And I might even keep that up going into my left sleeve too. It seems like a good schedule to be on for getting things done, but not always feeling like I'm healing. Because there was a long time in my life when I was getting tattooed a time or two every week. And it just felt like all I was doing was getting tattooed. So just kind of slowing it down a bit and enjoying the process a little more right now. Anyway, I didn't want to make this one too long, and I just wanted to show off a few more of my favorite new things real close. So that's the new pattern on the eye, and then the new tentacle. And if I can, yeah, there's the new silver highlights. I'm really happy with how those are coming out. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys next time. And if you like this video, be sure to share it with your friends. And check me out on Instagram at ephemeralremy.